What is up, YouTube? CJ Extreme here with another wrestling commentary, and this is going to be about Crown Jewel, which I did not like. So, just a little heads up. First match was it was Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton in the first round of Crown Jewel's Best in the World tournament. They call it the World Cup tournament, but it's supposed to be like who's the best in the world. That's what it's supposed to be. Anyways, we have The Miz and Jeff Hardy after this, and then we also have Bobby Lashley versus Seth Rollins, and we have Dolph Ziggler versus Bobby Lashley. I think you've all seen the brackets, but it was a match with Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton that was building up. It seemed like it was about to go somewhere, and then suddenly, roll up from Rey Mysterio, winning the matchup to go on to the next round. He is immediately hit with an RKO by Randy Orton. Not immediately, but, just a surprise RKO out of nowhere. They even had Randy Orton off camera to just do a better surprise. But it was so off camera that you could barely see that Randy Orton did. Like, you knew what happened, but you didn't see the full extent of the move. You know what I mean? So, after hitting the RKO, he punishes Rey Mysterio. Now, the fans were kind of cheering, I guess, because they really wanted to see an RKO. They wanted to see multiple RKOs. They were chanting one more time and everything. But instead, Rey Mysterio just got punished by Randy Orton, slammed him to the announce table, breaking a monitor in half. And for the rest of the tournament, for Rey Mysterio, at least, his ribs would be injured. We have The Miz and Jeff Hardy up next. Good match and a cool finish, in my opinion, where The Miz would counter the Twist of Fate into a skull-crushing finale. Again, another 10-minute matchup. I did not expect Jeff Hardy to go far at all, and I don't think anyone really did. And I'm not saying that to downplay him. It's just like, if they're going to have Rey Mysterio win, they're not going to have Jeff Hardy. And I think they're going to keep the dynamic of heel versus face, right? That's what I was expecting. So The Miz would end up winning against Jeff Hardy. Then we have Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins. A good match, once again, building up, but another sudden finish. Bobby Lashley will use his power to his advantage. He looked really good in this match, in my opinion. Bobby Lashley looked, I wouldn't say better than ever, but in this matchup, as of recently, it looked pretty good. He looked like a dominant beast. He pretty much had control for most of the matchup, even injured Seth's neck, which will come into play later on. And Seth would catch him out of nowhere with not really out of nowhere, but with the stomp. I would say it was out of nowhere because I wasn't really expecting it. I also see the gameplay on the screen. That was a weird thing that just happened with her moonsault and completely missed. Anyways, Seth Rollins qualifies, and we have Dolph Ziggler versus Kurt Angle. I thought Kurt Angle was at least going to go to the semifinals. Nah, he lost to Dolph Ziggler. I wasn't upset about this. I actually liked the surprise that Dolph Ziggler won. I actually kind of wanted Dolph Ziggler to go to the semifinals or the finals of the tournament, simply because it would have just been like, oh, well, Ziggler loses, no surprise there. I wanted something different for him, and he definitely got something different. We'll talk about that later. But he ended up winning this matchup after having a kick out of an Angle slam. I think Drew was supposed to distract the referee, but the referee missed his cue. I guess. I don't really know who to blame it on there, so I'm not going to blame it on anyone. It was just a botch, and Ziggler ended up winning the matchup with a zigzag after throwing Kurt Angle into the post, shoulder first. It was a really cool spot. Well, it's not like a super cool spot, but I like it whenever I see it. I like it. Anyways, after the first round of the tournament, we get the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. The only tag team match in the whole... Well, no, it's not. This is one of the 2 tag team matches on the card. But this one was pretty good. I enjoyed the Bar versus the New Day. And, I mean, I'm pretty sure anyone who watched that pretty much enjoyed it. It wasn't a fantastic barn burner of a match, but it was what you would come to expect from the New Day and from the Bar. Just a great tag team matchup. And in the end, the Bar would come out victorious after Big Show interference, so I'm guessing this rivalry is going to continue. Big Show would hit Big E with a knockout punch, and Big E would actually not go down, and then he would get hit with a bro kick right after that. And they tried to sell it as he didn't really get all of it. Yeah, it doesn't really matter if he got all of it or not. Regardless, Big E goes down, gets pinned, so the Bar continues their reign. Perhaps they're going to lose tag team championships after Survivor Series because we know that they're doing these champion versus champion matches at Survivor Series. And by the way, there was a United States Championship matchup on the pre-show with Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura, and I enjoyed that match. That was one of my favorite matches from the show, and there weren't a lot of matches that I liked, so that was one of my favorites. Shinsuke would creatively nail Rusev with a low blow with his head, like he's countering the accolade. He like, oh, I'm getting up, and then he hits him with a low blow with his head, and then he goes into the Kinshasa. Cool finish. Rusev doesn't look like he's weak or anything. He got caught off guard. It was like I didn't see it coming. I don't think anyone really saw Shinsuke doing that. I didn't expect that at all. It looked like an accident, but it was. Well, it looked deliberate, but I could see why the referee would think it was an accident. Regardless, we move on. Now we go to the semifinals. We have The Miz versus Rey Mysterio. Good matchup, and Miz focused on the ribs for the most part, as he should, as Rey Mysterio's ribs were injured. Rey Mysterio would do this like sliding splash to the floor, sliding underneath the bottom rope on the splash on the Miz, who's on the floor on the outside of the ring. That was a cool spot. Miz would catch Rey Mysterio out of his wheelbarrow bulldog, send him face first into the turnbuckle and go for the skull crushing finale. And somehow, some way, Rey Mysterio kicks out. So I'm like, oh shit, Rey Mysterio is going to win this match. No, he doesn't. He gets hit. He goes for the 619. He goes for the frog splash. Not really a frog splash, but a splash no less. Miz gets the knees up right into the ribs, gets him with a roll up, and the Miz advances to the finals. So now we have Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler. Seen this match multiple times, but it was still a good match. It was good, but it was just like we've seen it before, so it wasn't really, anything to write home about. I much rather would have loved to see Seth Rollins versus Kurt Angle, but we didn't see that, so we just have to settle for it. We probably will never see Seth Rollins versus Kurt Angle now that I think about it. Maybe we will. Never say never. Tagline for WWE 2K19 and 18. Anyways, they go at it. It's a good match. Drew interferes, and he shoves Seth Rollins off the top rope. Seth Rollins gets hit with the super kick after that. There was actually a spot where he hit the knee, and it was that was probably the best he's ever hit that knee, that freaking ripcord knee strike. And Ziggler kicked out, and I didn't think he was going to, but he did. And then the zigzag, I thought Seth Rollins was going to kick out, but then again, the way he got hit with it would have made sense for him to not kick out of it, because he went for the superplex to the Falcon Arrow, but his neck injury from Bobby Lashley earlier gets caught with the zigzag, kicks out of it. But then that super kick, couldn't kick out of the super kick. So now it's like 2 heels in the finals. I wonder what they're going to do for the end of this tournament. We're going to get to that. What the fuck? So, AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship. When is the WWE Championship going to main event a pay-per-view? It's been a long time. I guess it will never happen. Anyways, never happen again. That's just a joke, okay? Relax. So, AJ Styles and Samoa Joe have a great match, but once again, just like Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler, we've seen it before. The Saudi Arabia crowd loved every matchup, but for me, it was just like, I kind of know who's going to win. I mean, if Joe wins, okay, cool, but I highly doubt it. And AJ Styles would defeat Samoa Joe with a phenomenal forearm. There were a lot of callback spots in there that was cool, but at the same time, it was just what I expected to happen. Nothing really shocking there, So we go into the Universal Championship matchup. Surprisingly, this match wasn't very long. I thought it was going to be for a second, but it wasn't, because I completely forgot about the main event. But anyways, it didn't go that long. Match starts up. For some reason, Baron Corbin's presenting the WWE Championship. The referee isn't. What's going on here? He walks past Braun, hits Braun in the back of the head with the Universal title. Braun goes down. F5. Is he going to lose? Kicks out at 2. Gets it with another F5. Kicks out at 2. Gets it with another F5. Kicks out at 2. F5 from the inside of the ring to the outside of the ring for Braun Strowman. Gets back in the ring at 9. Gets up. Tries to get some offense in. Caught one more time. Another F5. Who knew one title shot smack to the back of the head completely nullify Braun Strowman, the man who survived trash truck compactor, survived the ambulance crashing, survived it all. But no, that title smack to the back of the head, man, a few F5s, that'll do it to him. Kicked out of pretty much everyone's finisher at Elimination Chamber. A couple F5s will do it to him. I don't know what's going on there. But I mean, it's Braun Strowman. He had to look strong, I guess, right? Then again, he should have won the matchup, but he didn't. He didn't. F5 from Brock Lesnar for the 5th time. Brock Lesnar's a Universal Champion. The only thing I like about this, I know that's surprising. How can I like anything from this scenario? The only thing I liked from this scenario is that Brock Lesnar will be facing AJ Styles again. Problem is, if he loses to AJ Styles again, or if he beats AJ Styles again, then it's going to be like, well, what was the point of doing this match, dude? But we'll see what happens. We'll certainly see what happens with that. Now, I can tolerate this a little bit more. It's just a teensy bit. I could just be like, you know what? We'll see what happens at Survivor Series or on Monday Night Raw. Okay, whatever. But this Best in the World tournament, they've been building this up. Let's get to the finals. Dolph Ziggler comes out with Drew McIntyre. Referee's like, no, McIntyre, you need to go to the back. Get the fuck out of here. Like, he's like that. You know, get out of here. Go away. Get out. Drew McIntyre's pissed. He leaves. SmackDown referee, by the way, is the announcers like the, or not the announcers, the commentary team addressed. So it's The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler one-on-one. Okay. Miz attacks Dolph Ziggler from behind before the bell can ring. He does some damage. He's beating him down. Bell still hasn't rang. Kind of weird. And, he won't get off him, so I guess the bell will never ring. He gets Dolph Ziggler to the outside. He wants to take advantage of the injury. But then The Miz, when he hops off the apron, injures his knee. One of his knees. I forget which one. So now The Miz cannot compete. So Dolph Ziggler going to win by forfeit, right? Nope. No. Shane McMahon says no. That's not going to happen. I thought it was cool. I was like, but who's going to come out? Please don't bring out Hulk Hogan. Please don't bring out Hulk Hogan. They didn't. They brought Shane McMahon, the best wrestler in the entire universe, the Galactic Warrior champion, fucking Universal God tier champion, the spiritual champion, the champion of the heavens. Here is Shane McMahon replacing The Miz. Shane McMahon faces Dolph Ziggler. Everyone's objecting to it. The commentators are objecting to it. Baron Corbin's objecting to it. Is that the referee? The referee's like, oh, it's all good. And Dolph Ziggler's pissed off. He's like, no. Match didn't even go for not even 7 minutes. I mean, I know what I was expecting there, but, Coast to Coast lands on Dolph Ziggler, and Shane McMahon is the best in the world. And he celebrated like he won, like he was on top of the mountain. So is Shane McMahon a heel now? Is that what we're doing? I'm not saying I object to him being a heel. Are they building up to Survivor Series? So it's supposed to be like, oh, the Raw superstar was screwed by Shane McMahon. I don't know what they're trying to build to here with this. I assume it's for Survivor Series. I assume that's what they're doing. But I could be completely wrong, and they're just crazy. I'm going to hope that they're going to, change this, do something about this. Why would you build this matchup like this? Every single competitor involved was talking about how prestigious, how amazing, how great this tournament is, and how everything is going to be awesome. And they kept talking about their accolades and championships and past glories. Oh man, I can't wait to see who's the best in the world in WWE. And then the guy who's not even in the tournament wins. What? I don't know. This is the first time I've genuinely disliked a whole pay-per-view. This is the first time. Event, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I didn't like it. Main event comes around. Shawn Michaels, Triple H. Not Triple Threat, Triple H. Undertaker and Kane. This shouldn't have been the main event, but you knew it was going to be, so we just have to accept it. It wasn't terrible. They did what they could do, alright? They did what they were capable of doing, so I can't knock them for that, alright? They're old. All of them. Every individual is old. A lot of weird spots. There were some cool spots. I mean, Shawn Michaels did a moonsault to the floor. Okay, Shawn. Doing his thing. People always wanted Shawn to have one more match. Now, nah. Now, Shawn would have had one more match immediately after WrestleMania 26. I would have been fine with that. I wouldn't have been fine because it was the career match didn't make any sense if he would have had a match immediately following that. But he would have been better suited for that match than he was here. I'm not saying that Shawn was the problem in this matchup. Not at all. The Brothers of Destruction, both of them were just fucking done. They were gone. Those men were high off their balls. Like, when they went to the outside by the announce tables, there's this weird thing where they were trying to do spots or whatever. Like, Undertaker and Triple H were running together and holding hands like they were fucking... like they were doing the track thing where you have the bars or whatever and you run with them. I forget what it's called. I've never done that before, so I don't know, and I've never watched in the Olympics, so I don't know what it's called. But anyways, that's what it looked like they were doing. They both ran into the barricade, but it seems like it was Undertaker being tricked. Whatever. Super kick spot was cool. Shawn Michaels saving Triple H from getting hit with the tombstone was cool. I mean, There were some good spots. It just, this seemed like it was just for the Prince of Saudi Arabia. He wanted to see the matchup, so that's why they did it. Not because everyone else in the world wanted to see it, because the guy they had to deal with, because the leader of the country wanted it, therefore it happened. I don't understand, man. I'm not saying, I'm not knocking them for being old. I mean, what are they gonna do? Not be old? This shouldn't have been the main event. The main event should have either been the Universal Championship or the WWE Championship. And even though the results in the matches were just like, okay, whatever, still, it's just weird having the main event the pay-per-view. It's just so weird. I thought they were going to put more time on the Crown Jewel tournament, the Best in the World tournament. I thought they were going to put more focus on that. And there was focus on it, but the finish was stupid. The end of the tournament was dumb. There was no reason for The Miz to have his knee get injured randomly. There was no reason for Dolph Ziggler to have to fight Shane McMahon. None. They created an issue. They were like Superman. They threw a fucking meteor at the earth and then caught it and said they saved the world. No, you didn't. You tried to kill us. You tried to kill us. You just didn't pull the trigger. You just didn't go through with it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The two events that were hyped up the most with the tournament, the tag team matchup at the end. The Universal Championship I can tolerate because AJ Styles just brought Lesnar. That should be cool. But the other two things, I don't know about. I mean, I'm not upset with the last match by any means. I just didn't think it should have been a main event. That's all I'm saying. Regardless, though, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next.